YouTube channel. This is Chat with Laju. Here we talk about amazing content that would help us have better perspective about some really things about life, where we are to where we are, how we can live better, do better, be better. So today we're going to be talking about self-awareness. Self-awareness is a critical topic that everybody, I believe, should be acquainted with, or everybody needs to understand for themselves. So literally, self-awareness is your ability to recognize that you're separate and you're different from other people, and while also assessing your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings, and other things in between. To be self-aware means that you can use your senses and experiences to understand your emotions. So there are two types of self-awareness. There's the private self-awareness and there's the public self-awareness. So the private one basically is you sitting with your thoughts and your emotions, maybe after, for example, after you've had an interaction with somebody and you come back to analyze your interaction with that person. It could be somebody of the opposite sex. You can come to realize that I actually like this person, or I like something about this person. Okay, that's the private self-awareness. There's also the public self-awareness. The public self-awareness is your ability to understand how people perceive you, which usually follows some social norms. You want to know why. You want to understand what it is that you do that makes them perceive in a certain way or in a certain light. Okay, so when you're fully self-aware, there are a couple of things that it does to you. It helps you to make better decisions, to communicate better. It helps you to improve relationships because you understand yourself and you understand the environment around you and how people perceive you. And it also helps you to better regulate your feelings and your emotions in whatever situation or circumstance that you find yourself. All the benefits is, like I said, it helps you to being able to manage and regulate your emotions. And if you look at it critically, you realize that it's basically divided into 4 pillars. So you can highlight 4 pillars from the social, the private, the public part of self-awareness. There's the private one, self-awareness, that's about you. There's the social awareness, and there's also self-management, how you manage your emotions, your feelings, and there's also relationship management, how you manage relationship with the people around you. So critically, we all need to be self-aware. We all need to know why we act the way we act, why we react the way we react, and why we think the way we do, why we make decisions, why we make choices like we do. For everybody it is different, and if you look at your life critically well, you could trace a couple of the reasons you act the way you act, maybe back to your childhood, or how you were raised, or the environment you were raised in. So all of this adds up to the totality of your existence, and all the experiences so far all adds up to who you are, who you have become, why you act the way you act, and all of that. So today I have 2 interesting stories that I want us to connect with, talking about self-awareness. And at the end of this, we should be able to see how being self-aware, the particular story of these people have, shaped the course of their life, maybe for the better. So the first story is about a woman whose name is Sarah. Sarah lived in a little town. She lived in a little town. She has always been known as the town's dependable librarian. She spent her days surrounded by books, helping others find the knowledge they sought. The townsfolk admired her for her unwavering commitment to her job and vast knowledge of literature. However, despite her reputation as the town's librarian, Sarah had been grappling with a growing sense of unease. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to her identity than just being a librarian, right? She often found herself wondering if she had become too defined by her role in the town. And one sunny afternoon, while shelving books in the library, Sarah came across an old leather-bound journal hidden away on a dusty, forgotten shelf. Curiosity piqued. She opened it to find the emotions of a person who had lived in the town many years ago. The journal was filled with sketches, poems, and theories, a glimpse into the creativity mind of its author. As Sarah read through the journal, something stirred within her. She realized that she had once been a passionate artist and writer herself, but her identity as the town's librarian had overshadowed this creative pursuit. It was as if she had lost a part of herself over the years. Sarah's discovery sparked a deep introspection. She began to question her own identity and her desires. She spent long evenings in the library, not organizing books this time, but sketching and writing like she hadn't done in years. All of this sparked from her discovering what she discovered. She painted colorful landscape and penned heartfelt poems that reflected her newfound self-awareness. Word of Sarah's rediscovered talent began to spread throughout the town. Some were surprised, having known her only as the librarian, while others celebrated her artistic side. It wasn't long before Sarah decided to organize a small art exhibition at the library, showcasing her artwork and writings. As the exhibition opened, the townsfolk marveled at the beautiful pieces on display. But more importantly, Sarah had transformed. She was no longer just the librarian, she was a multifaceted individual with a deep passion for art and literature. Her identity crisis had given way to a profound self-awareness. Through the journey of rediscovery, Sarah not only reconnected with her true passions, but also inspired others in the town to explore their own identities and pursue neglected dreams. The town's librarian had become a beacon of self-awareness, showing that one's identity is not fixed and that it's never too late to embrace all aspects of oneself. This story illustrates the concept of self-awareness by showing how Sarah's introspection led to confront an identity crisis and ultimately rediscover her true passions. It highlights the idea that our identities can be multidimensional and evolving, and that self-awareness is a powerful tool for personal growth and fulfillment. And that is Sarah's story. If you see, something triggered her all along. She was somebody that she had not expressed. Even though in her subconscious mind she was an artist and she had some literature skill and skill for art. However, her being a librarian for the longest had made those other parts of her not to show up or not to shine. And her engaging with what she found in the library also spurred her into igniting that passion or that skill or talent that she has as an artist and as a literature person. So some of us, maybe growing up, we had flair for some things that we were doing at the time, and as time went by, we deviated from that, maybe because we wanted to pursue success in other areas, or it could be that we're trying to make ends meet. But I hope that somewhere along the line in the journey of your life, you are able to find something that will ignite one of the hidden skills, passion, or talent that you have, so that you can showcase it to the world and let the world experience you in that regard. So if you are currently doing something and somewhere within you feel like I probably could be doing something different, or I know I want to do something else but I've been postponing it for the longest time, this is just a call or a reminder that, I mean, it's not too late. You still can go back to achieving that which you want to achieve in terms of reigniting that skill and that passion that you have. So another story that would help us connect with the topic of self-awareness is the story of David. David lived in a city where he spent most of his life working in a high-stress corporate job. He was known for his dedication and work ethic. He had climbed the corporate ladder steadily over the years. David's identity was closely tied to his role as a successful businessman. However, as David approached his mid-40s, he began to experience a growing sense of emptiness. He felt like he was living a life that wasn't truly his own, driven by the expectations of his family and the society. He was trapped in a circle of meetings, deadlines, and long hours at the office, and he rarely had time for personal pursuits. One evening, while stuck in traffic on his way home from work, David had a moment of clarity. He realized that he had lost touch with who he truly was and what truly mattered to him. The corporate world had consumed his identity, leaving him feeling like a stranger to himself. Determined to regain his sense of self, David embarked on a journey of self-discovery. He started by reconnecting with his childhood passions. He dusted off his old guitar, which had been sitting untouched in the corner of his apartment for years, and began to play music once again. He also took up hiking and spent weekends exploring the natural beauty that he had neglected for so long. As he delved deeper into these activities, David's self-awareness grew. He realized that he had a deep love for music and nature, and these passions brought him a sense of fulfillment that his corporate job never could. He also recognized that his identity was not solely defined by his career, but by the values, interests, and relationships that truly mattered to him. David faced an identity crisis head-on, but instead of succumbing to it, he used it as an opportunity for growth. He gradually transitioned into a career that aligned more with his newfound passions. Even if it meant taking a pay cut, he also began to nurture meaningful relationships with families and friends, rekindling bonds that had been neglected in the pursuit of success. Over time, David's transformation was evident to those around him. He was no longer the stressed-out businessman, but a content, self-aware individual who had found his true identity. His story inspired others in his circle to reflect on their own lives and priorities. This story underscores the importance of self-awareness and the profound impact of an identity crisis. It shows that sometimes confronting an identity crisis can lead to a deeper understanding of oneself and a more authentic, fulfilling life. It encourages individuals to take the time to reflect on their values, passions, and make choices that align with their true self. So, in retrospect, if you look at David's story, David was able to find what makes him, what makes him feel alive, what makes him feel like he's now living and not just existing, And in our day-to-day lives, we sometimes want to do something or become somebody else, but maybe other people's opinion or their sentiment or their judgment of you might have been a reason why you have not, fully delve into the person that you want to be. I just can imagine when David decided. If you read his story very well, you realize that he had actually climbed up the corporate ladder. At the corporate ladder, everybody envies you. Everybody feels like, oh, you're doing great, you're doing fantastic and amazing. But for him, he has gotten to the point where fulfillment is what matters to him, even above him climbing the corporate ladder. So I don't know who you are, where you've been, and you probably, have tried to tell people the next move you want to make, and they feel like, oh, don't try it, you're great where you are right now, but they don't really understand or connect with maybe how not fulfilled you are doing what you're doing. It's your life. I hope you're making the right decisions anyway, but nothing beats the fact that you picture a life that you want, you put in the work, and you get that life. So let self-awareness guide you. If you want to do something and you feel strongly about doing that, if you want to change how you look, if you want to go somewhere you've not been to before, if you want to do something different other than how you were raised, and I'm just thinking about it, how you were raised, also the environment you grew up in also plays a huge role plays a huge role in your life. Before you became an adult, maybe people determine the things you do, where you go, how you speak, how you behave, and all of that. Could they have done it to the best of your interest? Maybe not. But now that you're fully self-aware, now that you understand, I hope you do understand the decisions that they were taken on your behalf, but you're here now, and you want to reappraise and reanalyze all those decisions and see if where you are currently it's working to your advantage, and considering where you're going, your future as well. If you need to change some things, you need to become somebody else to be able to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. So take your time to self-reflect and take your time to answer some critical questions. Why do I act the way I do? Why do I respond the way I do? Why am I the way I am? And if you're able to answer some of these questions, then you'll be able to now figure out and understand where all of that is coming from, and you can now tweak it to help you live the life and be the best version that you want to be. Okay, so just keeping it short and sweet, this is where we will close the content for today. I hope that this content was worth your time. I hope that you will fully become self-aware, and I hope that based on that you'll be able to make better decisions, build better relationships, and live a better life. So thank you for hanging here with me. This is Chat with Laju once again. Do subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.